Hey there, this is Sean Donahoe and welcome to Getting Started with a Kickstart. This is part of the Kickstart training program and I am absolutely honored to be here with you today. And humbled, to be quite honest, because I've been doing this for a long time now. I've achieved massive success online and I want to help you get on the right path. And if you're a new marketer, an experienced marketer, you're just looking for something to create success to get moving forward, then I'm really, really glad you're here. So what we're going to do in this Kickstart program, and this is kind of the introductory module here, but we're going to help you in this course to create massive success and create a profitable real business in any niche starting right now. Now, first of all, I want to congratulate you for taking the first step because honestly, you have earned a very important distinction because you're now part of an elite group of success-orientated entrepreneurs. A lot of people out there don't take action. They don't seize an opportunity when it's presented to them. And so many people really do just fall by the wayside. And it's really sad because they fail and wonder why they don't see any results. And it's a sad fact that 95% of online business owners give up before they see any success. But I am really glad that you will not be one of them. Now, you may be wondering, who is this guy? Why should I listen to him? Well, my name is Sean Donahoe. That's my ugly mug right there. And I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been involved with many, many businesses from the ground up. I'm a business coach, an author, a public speaker, a strategist. I've consulted with Fortune 500 companies and multinational corporations all over the world. I've spoken all over the world, and I have dedicated my life to sharing my skills and everything I do with people just like yourself who want to get ahead. I've already made it. I've been through all the roadblocks, all the hassles and everything else, but I started from very, very humble beginnings, and I am obviously the creator of the IMSE Inner Circle. And our aim is to help 1 million successful online entrepreneurs. That's my personal goal. And we've taught over 30,000 students and helped over 200 startups create their online presence. So we want to do this for you here today. Now, like I say, I come from very humble beginnings. A lot of people are very baffled of how I got to where I am today from where I came from. Because I came from a very tiny island off the very north tip of Scotland. The island is 2 miles by 15 miles, has a population of under 400, and there really wasn't that much to do. There was farming or fishing, and that was it. And if you've seen the TV show The Deadliest Catch, that's the kind of crazy stuff I used to do day in, day out. Many, many years ago leaving school. And I tell you what, that was a very, very short-term gig. Because you either go over the side and never be seen again or have an accident, get crushed. There's all sorts of crazy stuff happens with that. It's a very dangerous profession. Wasn't really for me. Now, fast forward, I decided to leave the islands and created my own consulting business. Realized the power of the internet, came to the United States, and the rest is history. Now, if you Google my name, I'm all over the place. Millions of results everywhere. That is what I do. But this isn't about me. This is about you. But I just wanted to tell you a little bit about who I am and where I came from, so you can realize if anyone coming from those kind of beginnings can succeed, anyone can. I mean, that was one of the poor communities you could imagine. I mean, even collecting seaweed for money for pharmaceutical companies, that was one of the professions on the islands. So coming from that to where I am now, one of the most sought after marketing consultants, one of the most sought after speakers, that's a heck of a turnaround. So if I can do it, you can too. And it really doesn't matter what your background is. Everyone has a very unique background. Everyone is different. But this is about you. And you can achieve incredible success with all of the base principles you're going to learn in this course. So what you will achieve with the Kickstart program? Well, our aim is to turn you into a successful online entrepreneur. Now, whatever shape that takes, it's going to take time. But what we're going to do is set a foundation for success. So you're going to be able to create a real business online. You're going to learn the traits of success in business, because we are all pre-programmed in a very certain way that goes in the face of true success and entrepreneurship. This is the result of our parents' generations and their parents' generations, the school system, the education system, society, the news media. Everything is designed to make you a drone. We'll get into that in a little bit. But I want to basically help you reprogram your mind for complete success and allow you to see opportunities before anyone else does, to see how you can create an incredible business and not let anything stop you from success. So that's kind of a little prelude to some stuff we're going to talk about in a few moments. But I'm going to show you how to find a powerful niche to dive into. We're going to just go into this in a lot more detail through this course. And we're going to show you how to build massive trust and rapport with your audience, how to build a powerful foundation for now and in the future. And all of this is just the tip of the iceberg. So let's get started. Like I said, we're going to cover a lot of stuff today, so I want to make sure you have a pen and paper, take notes, and there are going to be some action steps at the end of this. Now, yes, there's going to be homework, but don't think of it like homework, because I'm not a teacher. I'm not a big fan of the education system, but I do have action steps because I want you to take action. Without taking action, this whole course is a waste of your time and a waste of my time. You're here because obviously you're struggling, you want to create a foundation, you identify with the fact that you need help. Well, that's what I'm here for, and I'm more than happy to help the people who want to be helped. So I really do recommend you take these action steps, because each one is specifically designed with your success in mind. We want to help you and guide you to success. And it's one of those old phrases, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I can give you all the best information, pure solid gold information you're going to get in this Kickstart program. But if you don't take action, I can't force you to drink. It's up to you. And you've got to decide for yourself whether you want to be successful or not. It's literally that simple. And I don't mean that to sound harsh, but like I say, even with some of the biggest programs and the biggest training programs I have released, and I have released programs in the $5, $10, $25, even $100,000. And I have seen people pay incredible money for my training, and it's gold training. It's worth every single cent, if not a lot more. And then people still don't take action. It just baffles me. Well, the Kickstart program is available for free, so there's no cost commitment here. However, I do want you to seize this opportunity and use it as a foundation and a starting point for long-term success. So let me talk a little bit about success, because this is really the crux of setting a foundation for entrepreneurship. You see, everybody out there, how do I put this? Well, most people think of success as a destination. Let me start there. If you look to the future, think, well, I want to be a millionaire. And then what happens when you're a millionaire? You see, and they think that's the destination. They're like, well, I don't know. If you ask a room full of budding entrepreneurs, I guarantee 95% of them will say, well, I don't know, to that question. You see, success is not just a destination. It really isn't. There are many types of success. And whatever you've got in mind, you think, well, if I'm successful, I've got $1 million in my bank account, or I don't have to worry about the mortgage, or I'm traveling the world. There are different levels, what people picture for themselves, success. And your idea of success may be completely different. I know people, I've actually got a student right now who came to me whose idea of success is just an extra $1,000 in their bank account every single month. That's a very low goal, very easily achievable. But that to them is success, because it gives them enough breathing room to do a heck of a lot. But what we're going to do right now is really change things around, because success is not a destination, it's a journey, and it's a never-ending journey. The cool thing is that it's really cool to have that journey, to have all this success come to you, because success is just like the pit stop on the way. It never stops. That you might, for example, if your first idea of success was an extra $1,000 or an extra $5,000 or $10,000 in your bank account every month, what happens then? Well, let's increase it to $50,000 to $100,000 to $1 million a month. Or maybe you just want to have 3 international bestseller non-fiction books, but you need something to actually provide a foundation so that you can achieve and free up your time to do that kind of thing. You've got to really sit down, and we'll get into this in a few minutes. But what we're going to do is try and open the floodgates of your peak potential, because every single person out there has incredible potential for amazing things. I have seen people come from the humblest beginnings and create multi-million dollar fortunes, and I've helped them achieve those goals. I've helped, there was one guy, one of my students is disabled. I mean, literally paraplegic. Very, very restrictive. And you would think anyone in that position would just give up and, live on Social Security and bemoan their fate. No, this person is one of the biggest go-getters I have ever seen. Despite all of their problems, despite all of their disabilities, they are working harder than anyone I've ever seen to achieve massive success. It's really everyone, doesn't matter what you do, where you are, where you come from, what problems you have in your current life or your previous life or in the future. It's all about your mindset and how you do that. So what we're going to do is give you a new perspective on the world. And literally, and here's the thing, a lot of people in my position, or should I say in my industry, shall we say, that's probably a better way to say it, they try and give you a strategy and that's it. And then when the strategy doesn't work, they'll sell you another strategy and then another one. And they keep you on this kind of bait and switch, I suppose is the thing. But you're on the hook for them because, hey, they keep promising you the next thing will work for you. The next thing will work for you. Oh, this one didn't work? Well, the next thing will work for you. Well, what I'm trying to do is give you a solid foundation. My aim is to help you personally get to where you want to be. Now, you and I don't know what your journey is yet. We don't know where those destinations will take you, where the success will take you, what you want to do. But what we are going to do is give you a foundation. And this, like I say, is going to be a long-term proposition. I mean, this course, the Kickstart course, is a 6-week course. And we do a new module every single week. But beyond that, this is just the starting point. I want you to really understand that. I can't teach you everything in just 6 weeks. I can't do it. There's no one on this planet that can give you a life's worth of experience in just 6 weeks. So what we're going to do is this is the starting point. Once you're done with this, we can continue you onwards and upwards. But what we are going to do in this course is create a solid foundation for success, for online business, and help you, as I say, gain that new perspective on life. Now, that being said, this will empower you to make a difference, not just in your life, in your family's life, but potentially in the world as well. I mean, right now I've got another student, just to give you an example, who started off just working as a bricklayer, working as a labourer, building homes. Obviously, in this economy, the housing market collapsed. They had nothing to do. So what we sat down and talked with them, and what we decided to do was help other people find work, apply their skills in another way, start up their own business, start up different things. So what they're doing now, he's created basically a community for unemployed labourers and ways that they can help each other find work. So he's making a difference. And that was a completely random thing that he decided he wanted to do. But I showed him how he could set it up. We worked with him one-on-one, And he is now creating an incredible community, which is now monetized. He has an association, and he's created this incredible business, literally from the ground up. And now he's a six-figure business owner. And he's helping and making a difference. But whatever that making a difference means to you. Maybe you want to be more active in your community. Maybe you want to get up and you've got a message that you want to tell the world. Doesn't matter what that is, but you will be able to make a difference. But then again, you can also localize it back to yourself, to your home, to your family, to those around you that you love and care about. It's all about making a difference, because what we're going to do, like I say, is reprogram you for success, because our brains are computers. Nothing more, nothing less. Input in, input or output, and that's it. So what we're going to do is try and unprogram, deprogram, delete some bad routines. Okay, I'm not going to go all geeky because I do have a programming background, but you get the idea. We're going to try and undo some of the bad code that has been placed in each and every one of us. And it took me a while to sort that out. And there's still remnants of it in there now. I'll tell you, and I'll be completely honest. I'm going to be 100% transparent here. I've gone through everything that I'm teaching you myself. Everything I'm showing you is what helped me achieve the success and massive success that I've managed to do in my life, and the way I've been able to affect difference, not only with the people I love, the people I care about. I've given them the dream life. I mean, I'll give you an example. My eldest son right now is in college. Not just a regular college, because I'm not a huge fan of the education system, and you'll get that as we go through this, because I think it does more harm than good in a lot of ways. But I managed to get him into a special effects college, which is not really a college per se, but it gives you direct training in the special effects industry, in the movie industry. He is studying, he's become a fantastic artist. He is doing sculpting, he's doing special effects, 3D stuff, but he's getting his fundamentals done. Now, here's the thing. You would think with everything I'm saying, it's like, well, that's my son, he's going to college and he's looking to get work in the special effects industry. Well, this place is very specialized. I'm just going to give you an idea of mindset here. It has a 97% placement rate with some of the biggest studios out there. However, he is working his ass off with one goal in mind. He wants to pay his time inside the studios, learn the business inside out, and start his own studio. But he knows he's got to learn the entire industry inside out. He's got to work at the different levels to understand everything about the industry, how it works from one end to the other, from project completion, project starting, all the different things. He's finding his direction, but his end game is to start his own studio. Now, he has committed himself on this success path. He has mapped out what he needs to do to be able to achieve this, and the kid's only 21 years old. Very proud of him. But that is a mindset, and that's because, again, from the age of 10, he's actually my stepson, so I married his mother when he was very young, but I've managed to empower him to make a difference. So that's the difference I've made in his life. My other son now wants to be a copywriter because he's been exposed to my business and everything else, and he's seen he is a great wordsmith. This kid's only 15, but he's already decided, I want to be a copywriter. I want to be in sales and marketing like you, Dad. And he wants to really establish himself as a copywriter. So he's learning creative writing. He's learning about salesmanship. He's learning about this. And he's doing this. I didn't push him into this in any way, shape, or form. He's doing this himself. So when you start with this mindset, if you've got kids, if you've got people around you, you will start making a difference in their lives. They'll start looking to you because while you're an entrepreneur and you are seen as a leader and an action taker and you're doing what you do, people will look to you and admire you, look up to you, respect you, because you're doing the thing that they can't do. And you might be able to say, well, you know what? here's what I suggest. And you give advice, and they will listen to your advice. And maybe they don't act on it. Like I say, you can lead a horse to water, but there's all sorts of things you can do. And that difference you make in the people around you and the world around you is, I can tell you, it's the most rewarding thing. And I'll tell you right now, I'm going to, again, full transparency. I developed the Inner Circle to help as many entrepreneurs as possible. Now, I'm very successful. And I'm not blowing my own horn. I don't want to sound like I'm being a braggart. But I created this to help as many people as possible. I didn't have to. I make enough money outside of what I do that I didn't have to do the Inner Circle. But my goal is to make a difference in your life and thousands of other students. Like I say, I want to help 1 million entrepreneurs all over the world in whatever I do. That's my journey. That's my goal. That's one of my goals, is I want to help as many people as possible that want to be helped. That's the way I make a difference. And hopefully I can empower you as well. So here's the thing. A lot of people think of success, and if they don't hit immediate success or don't see immediate results, they give up. Like I say, and this is a sad fact, 95% of online entrepreneurs give up before they see any real success. And that kills me. That really does, because success comes from determination and it comes with time. Hey, you know what? You might fail first time out. You might fail the second time out. It doesn't matter. You keep on pushing because you have a firm belief in the fact that you can do it, that these things and everything around you will work. It will work. You just got to learn from those mistakes, learn from any failures, and keep pushing. I mean, I'll give you another analogy. Look at top athletes. Think about the Olympics. Okay, you've got an Olympic athlete, swimmer, shot put, 100-meter dash, whatever. They are continuously trying to be the best and succeed. Their aim is gold medals. Now, are they going to hit that every time? No. In fact, when they're first starting out in their careers, most of the time they don't succeed. They fail. They come in last, they come in 10th, they come in 3rd, whatever. But they get better with more practice, more determination, and eventually they'll hit their goal and be the best in the world if they keep pushing at it, if they believe in that, and if they can push themselves to where they need to be. Now, I'm not saying you've got to do the 100-meter dash. I'm not going to say you've got to swim 25 lengths. But you've got to have that mindset that success will come to me with time, determination, and the right mindset. Now, think about millionaires. Think about people who are very successful. They have some very, very common traits. Traits that a lot of us don't have when we first start out. And I'll tell you right now, you develop this mindset as success comes to you. For example, millionaires do think differently than most. They have a different approach to everything, including money, problems, situations, to business, to finance, the whole shebang. It's a different mindset. For example, they make money work for them, not work for money. That's a prime example. They look at investments as opportunities, not as gambling. You know, it's a completely different mindset. And they're not held back by convention, because convention is, well, crippling. We are trained in schools to be dutiful employees. We work hard, we get a job, we work all our lives for, and try and improve our job situations or get promotions. Then we retire and then we die. Well, to me, that's not a life. That's a prison sentence. But that's the influence my father had on me. And I'll tell you a little bit of a background story, which will give you an insight. Now, my father came from a very poor background, very poor. He was from the north of England, and as poor as they get. I mean, seriously. But he had always wanted and ran his own businesses as long as I was alive. And I've seen him build businesses up from zero up to incredible success. And then One, he became crippled with arthritis, and just because he was very hands-on in his business, obviously the business had to go by the wayside, and we became very, very poor. That's why we ended up in the Orkney Islands of the North of Scotland. Just because of his illnesses and everything else, he just couldn't do it. And I was too young. I was only like 12 at the time. So that really kind of crippled us. But I saw his mindset differently. He was not held back by convention, and he always had something to try and make ends meet, even in the poorest of poor situations. Otherwise, we'd have been homeless. I'll be quite honest. I mean, we had nothing. I mean, truly nothing, except we had a house free and clear. That was it. And I worked from the age of 13 upwards. I worked on fishing boats. I made concrete blocks and sold them. I had been running my own businesses and developing my own income streams from that age. Not because I wanted to be an entrepreneur, because that's how you survived. I had to find ways to make money. So they not held back by convention. Convention was, for me, I should have been at school working and then go to play. No, I got up at 5 a.m., built concrete blocks, and I won't go into the details of how that's done, but it's bloody hard work. And then I would go to school, come back, then either fix lobster pots, which is what they use for lobster fishing and crab fishing. And then as I got older, I started working on the boats. I would only go to school 3 days a week, and I would work the other 2 days. So I'm not. This is sounding strange. Again, this is a different culture and a different lifestyle, and again, this is island life. But I saw that I could create my own wealth, and my own business was not held by the convention that I've got to get a job. I realized that my success depended on me. So they look at failure as an opportunity as well. This is what the successful people do. Every failure has within it an opportunity. If you have, for example, you've built an incredible website and then no one comes because you haven't done the traffic right, guess what? You've just learned you need traffic. Failures present opportunities. Failures present lessons that you can learn that you can then apply somewhere else. And self-doubt and fear are just guides. For example, now I'll give you a real example of this. This is myself. Self-doubt, we all have self-doubt whether we can succeed. We have fear about failure. Well, successful people don't let these stop them. Stop you. We're going to get into this in a few moments. They're just guides. They tell us, okay, we're in some situation we're not comfortable. I'll give you an example. If I put you on the stage right now and said, okay, you've got to speak in front of 10,000 people and you've got to give a presentation about X, most people would have a heart attack right on the spot. And I'll be quite honest, I would have too a few years ago. And actually, I was in a very similar situation and pretty much did have a heart attack. I was scared silly. And I had massive self-doubt, massive fear. But I grit my teeth and I got on that stage and did it. And it worked out okay. I was still alive at the end of it, which was very thankful. But if you push yourself outside of your comfort zone, we all have our comfort zone and this is the comfort zone that society creates for us as well. Think about, again, we're trained to be dutiful employees at a job. That's comfort zone. Well, there's no such thing as job security anymore. You cannot risk your entire future working for a job where that job may not exist in a year, and you get your company gets downsized, or you just get fired for, because they can't keep on employees right now in this economy. My good grief, I would hate to rely on that. But that's the comfort zone for most people. We got to push ourselves outside of that comfort zone into areas where we're not comfortable, where we're pushing ourselves forwards. And here's the thing. Very soon, if you do it often enough, you've just expanded your comfort zone. You're comfortable with doing X. And a lot of people have never built a website before. However, when they build 2 or 3, guess what? They're comfortable with building websites. That's fine. That's the comfort zone trap. Because a lot of people do just feel uncomfortable and then they retreat back to their comfy zones. Well, that's all well and good if you don't want to progress in life. That's not me, and I don't think that's you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here watching this video. And then something else that successful people do is they find their limits and then push past them. Okay, so for example, I just mentioned speaking on stage. I was not comfortable with that. But then again, also, I have dyslexia and ADHD. And that crippled me through my early years. Really did. And I struggled like hell to overcome that. But I found a way to bypass it. For example, my handwriting, if you could see my handwriting, it is the worst. You could read a chicken scratch better than my handwriting. In fact, I write notes all the time. I still can't read what the hell I wrote down. And that's just the way it is. However, I found a way around that. I found computing. And I could type on a computer at lightning speed. So I did all my homework and schoolwork on a computer. And that was it. I could turn it in and it was done. They could read it. That was my bypass for that. I found a way around it. Another way around it, even later on, I suck at writing. I hate writing. That's because of, and I'm still, like I say, still problems that I overcome. I have the ADHD and dyslexia thing. My writing is atrocious. I pushed myself to succeed in it now because I knew it was one of my biggest weaknesses. But initially, when I first started creating training programs like this, I did it all as video. The reason being was I was uncomfy standing in front of a camera. I was more uncomfy writing. So what did I do? I took the lesser of two evils. I stood in front of the camera, and now that was very uncomfortable for me because I hate the way, again, we all have these kind of self-perception things. I didn't like the way my voice sounded. I didn't like the way I looked. However, now I'm comfortable with that. I put on my suit, which is my kind of, I call this my superhero costume because that's me. I wear a suit and I feel just comfortable in a suit. I'll go up on stage now. I'll stand in front of the camera, record a video, no problem at all. Now I'm very comfortable with that. And thankfully, because I recognized my weakness, which was my writing, I pushed myself in that. Now my handwriting is still atrocious. Don't get me wrong. I haven't fixed that yet, but I'll actually sit down and write stuff now. No problem at all. I have no aversion to it. Now I'm comfortable with it. So whatever your limits are, now we all have limits. Doesn't matter what yours are. There's a limit out there that you feel you can't push past. I'll tell you right now, you can. There is no limit that will stop you succeeding. You just have to find a way around it. And like I say, this is the stuff they don't teach at school. And I desperately wish they did. I mean, a lot of the people watching this right now, we all came from a similar education system. The UK system is very similar to the American system, and same all over the world. They train you to be workers. Well, I wish they did more about entrepreneurship. And one of my personal missions is to go around to schools, to colleges, and help kids identify with entrepreneurship and this different mindset that they can control their lives. So that's one of my personal missions. Again, that's another way I'm going to empower people and make a difference. But I want to make a difference with you right now. I want you to think about those things we just talked about, the mindset for success. We're going to go across a few of them in more detail right now. But I want you to really think about where your limits are, how you were raised, how your education has influenced you. Maybe you've been trapped in a job. Maybe you just know there's a different way. I just want you to think about that as we go through this. So, how do you actually eliminate fear and self-doubt? Well, like I say, we all have fear and self-doubt. It's natural. It's how you deal with it that's in the important part. Now, you can let it guide you, or you can let it drag you down. That decision is yours. And you've got to face this is the voice you've got to hear in the back of your mind every time you go through a situation where you're like, oh, I'm not sure about this. You've got to take a step back and look at it impartially as you can. It's like, okay, is this the right thing to do? Now, fear and self-doubt is good. That's a self-preservation instinct we all have as human beings. But we've got to see whether it's going to guide us and be cautious and keep our eyes open, or we just retreat and hide behind the couch. That's a very different mindset. And you will develop that over time. And you've got to think about risk versus reward. And this is the way I look at life. And I encourage you to too. Now, for example, we talked about, okay, if I said get on the stage in front of 10,000 people, would you do it? And most people, unless they've got seriously big cojones, would say, no, not a chance. I would hate to do that. Or they'd say, well, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. If I said I was going to give you $10 million to do it, the first reaction would be, wow, what time? So it's the reward. We have, this is again part of our natural psychological makeup as human beings. We have a risk versus reward decision process. If the reward is worth it, then we can push ourselves outside our comfort zones into an area where there's slightly more risk. I don't want to use a gambling analogy, but for example, say for example there's $1 million in a pot and I'm playing poker. And there's $1 million, I've got a really good hand, and I think the guy across from me is bluffing. There's $1 million in the pot. That's a huge reward. Is it worth the risk? That's the decision process. You got to think about it. But you've got to do it with your eyes open. If a lot of people playing a hand like that in poker would be scared to death rather than looking at the risk versus reward. And that's a very important distinction. And like I say, going on stage, 10,000 people, if the reward is beneficial enough to us, we will find a way to overcome that fear and self-doubt. And that's really what I'm trying to impress upon you here. There are different ways that you can do this. You can look in everything in your life. For example, I'm not sure whether I should get this extra training. Well, what's the reward of getting that extra training? Well, I could then take my business from a foundation to a 6-figure business. Okay, great. What's the risk? Oh, $47 a month. That sounds like a good risk to me. That sounds like a good idea because my risk is $47 versus the reward potentially creating a 6-figure business, creating a lot more traffic, creating a solid income stream and all the rest of it. So you got to look at every opportunity versus risk versus reward. Is this something I'm not really sure whether I could do? You start talking yourself out of a situation. Take a step back. Look at the risk versus reward in every single situation. And you can overcome negative imprints. Now, what is a negative imprint? I get asked this one a lot. Think about this as a situation. You at school or in your work college, there's always some person who kind of puts you down in your life and either tries to be funny or just tries to be an ass. And they put you down and you and you start having these self-doubts about whether you have any ability to do things. Maybe you've got a family member who you say, I want to start my own business. And the first thing they say is, oh, that's a lot of risk. I don't know if you would want to do that. Those create a negative imprint on us. And those imprints stick with us because we hear something from other people that we love or care about or that just is in our lives and creates these negative imprints on us. And then we start believing those third parties because they're people that we listen to. Well, the thing is, you've got to take it in yourself and decide for yourself. Okay, negative imprints aside, how do I proceed? Is this the right path? Because other people's opinions do matter. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying dismiss other people's opinions. However, think about the position they are in life and their mindset in terms of success and entrepreneurship. They haven't got the benefit of the training you're getting now. You have to think about where they are in their mental state. And I'm not meaning in craziness. I mean in their mental perception of life around them. Success, money, their work and everything else. Are these really opinions that you should listen to? Now, I'm not saying like dismiss your partner or something like that. I'm saying think about their mindset and then overcome that negative imprint in yourself. And the other thing is, and this is something that, again, is kind of self-evident, but a lot of people don't realize, is determination is the enemy of self-doubt. For example, if you have a goal of getting on stage in front of 10,000 people, I'll use that as an analogy, but you know, oh my good grief, I'm not sure if I could do that. Well, you could break yourself into it easily. Speak on a stage of 200 people, then build it up to 5 to 1,000 people. And guess what? The difference between 1,000 and 10,000 people is negligible. Because you're already in that comfort zone where you can push forwards. You know you can speak in front of people, because honestly, the difference between speaking to 5 people or 5,000 people is only a matter of getting up on the stage and opening your mouth. That's really it. But that's an example, okay? Because you're like, okay, I'm determined to do this, but I know I've got to push myself to do it, but I don't want to just jump on a stage of 10,000 people. I've got to have some practice first. So you get determined to put yourself into situations and move forward. It's the same with anything in business. If you want to succeed in business, online, offline, whatever you want to do in life, it's all about pushing yourself forward to get there and being determined. Now, the other thing is never let a roadblock stop you. Now, here's the thing. Every entrepreneur faces roadblocks. Heck, you know what? It's part of business, online or offline, and it's part of life. We all have them influence everything we do. But an entrepreneur, a successful person, never lets a roadblock stop you moving forward. Never do it. If you find a roadblock, doesn't matter what it is, you have to find a way around it, overcome it. It's just part of life. Now, many people hit roadblocks and then bounce off them like ping pong balls and then go the other direction. But you've just got to learn how to bypass it, jump over it, or blow it up out of the way. Every problem presents an opportunity to move forward. So you just got to look at how you can change a situation or a roadblock and get moving forward. It doesn't matter what it is. Maybe, for example, you got a roadblock and you're building a website, you're not technically minded, and you want to give up right there because, oh, well, I can't do it. That is one phrase that drives me crazy. And if you have that in your vocabulary right now, I want you to delete that line of code. I can't do it. You want to change it to, I'll find a way. Now, I'll give you an example of problem solving. Say, for example, you're not technically minded. You've got to create a website. You could either learn how to do it yourself, sit down, figure it out. Everyone else that's built a website had to go through that process. Or if you just don't want to do it, find someone who will. Outsource it. Find someone who's got the skills you need already and get them to do it. There's a way around every single problem. And then again, if you're presented, well, I don't have the money to do that, well, guess what? That's just eliminated one of your options. So you'll have to do it and figure out how to do it, or find a way to barter to get someone to do it in exchange for a favor. Maybe there's something you can do for them. There's all sorts of ways around problems. And that's the key thing. No matter what the problem is, there is a solution. You just got to find it, work through it, and get moving forward. Don't let it stop you. And I'll be quite honest, I face roadblocks every single day, and even at my level, where I am in my business. There's new challenges, new problems, new roadblocks every single day. And all I do is find a way around them. Where's the solution? Okay, what are my options? Okay, which one can I do? Which one's the best option? But okay, done. Move on. That's it. Keep the ball rolling. Keep things moving forward, and then you will massively see an increase in your productivity, your chances of success, and everything you want to do in life. Now, I'm going to show you one tip right now. This is something I encourage all new entrepreneurs to do. That is going to put you instantly in the top 1% of entrepreneurs. Now, you might think that is a huge, huge claim, but let me show you. Did you know that less than 5% of people make goals and less than 1% actually try and achieve them? Now, you've probably think, oh, well, I've got goals, or, I've been told I should create goals and I've kind of got an idea what they are. Well, I'll tell you right now, goals are vital to success. They really are. They are your guide. And one analogy I use is that your goals, when you have them, become your lighthouse in the fog of life, because they become your guiding light and show you the direction you want to go on your journey to success. Okay, now I say journey to success, I should say journey of success, because that light will keep guiding you forward. But when you have a whole lot of goals, you keep adding new ones as you achieve the old ones. So I'm going to show you that every entrepreneur knows where they're going because of this one thing. And no matter what they have a destination in mind for themselves. And when they reach it, they choose new goals. One of my goals was to create a massive membership site with lots of training to help online entrepreneurs get started and achieve incredible success. One of my goals. I have now reached that goal. I have released the inner circle. I open the doors to that to every entrepreneur who wants to learn. So now I've checked that one off my list. I have many more goals right behind it. So as you grow, as you succeed, your sights expand, your options expand, and you can keep adding new goals. But the question is, how do you actually do that? Well, I like to choose big, audacious goals. Now, whatever that is in your life, what it means to you, that's fine. But here's a wee exercise that you can do. I want you to close your eyes and think about your future. Now, do that right now. Think about this. If you had the absolute ideal life, say 5 years from now, I want you to create your ideal world and where you want to be in your life. Now, I want you to just, and seriously, close your eyes for a second. Think about yourself. Think about your ideal life, what your world looks like. Give it literally texture. Give it objects. Build it up. Maybe you're in a really nice house. You've got a nice car outside. Your kids are running around playing outside. You walk into your office, that you've got a home office. You sit down at the computer. You're checking your overnight stats for your, what's happened online, your income. You're happy with the results. Another $10,000. You've got a call from your publisher. You've got a book deal coming up, and they're just wanting to confirm something about your book or what have you. I mean, I'm just making that up. But whatever your goal, what your ideal world looks like, I want you to spend 30 minutes every single day. Picture every detail in this world and build it up, and spend, daydream a little bit. I do this every single day. I flesh out this world. I literally give it as much detail as possible. And I'll sit and I'll consider, okay, this is where I'm going to be. And I'll tell you right now, this subconsciously imprints this on your mind. And it sounds kooky. Believe me, if you told me this 5 years ago, I'd have laughed. I really would. But I'll tell you right now, putting yourself in that mindset of where you're going to be allows you to literally program your mind that is where you're going to be. And you'll be amazed how that can manifest itself. And I'm not talking about, things like The Secret or visualization. I suppose I am in some ways. But I'm not doing all the kooky kind of new age craziness that goes kind of with that somewhat. But I do firmly believe that if you create this image in your mind of where you're going to be, it guides you in everything you do, and you see opportunities and ways forward in the fog to actually get there. So once you've done this, you do this every little, even if you spend 10 minutes a day doing it, that's great. But now I want you to think about this world, believe in it, and then write down what you want to achieve. And write down, maybe it's 10, maybe it's 20 things in this world that you want to achieve. And it could be from material to emotional. Maybe you want to have written a New York Times bestseller. Maybe you want to have a beautiful house in the, Florida or something like that, which is your summer retreat or something like that. Maybe you want to, you've picked yourself traveling the world. So great, where have you been? You want to go to France, Rome, maybe you want to go to Moscow or Japan or Australia. Think about the places you want, things you want to have achieved, and then add them to this list. Now here's the thing, a lot of people don't think about this, but once you've done that, once you've built up the world, Get pictures of all of these items and pin them on a little pinboard and put them above your monitor. Now, I want you to really think about what you want to achieve. This is very important. Write down those 10 goals, and they could be business or life. Maybe you've got more than 10. That's fantastic. But prioritize them. Pin them down. I want you to really think about, okay, well, this is the one I want to achieve first, and then rearrange them and then print them out. And next to your kind of pinboard of pictures, where you want to really think about what you want to achieve, and you've got the pictures, now you've got your 10 goals as well. I want you to print them out and put them above your monitor. So I want you to look at them every day, because these will influence everything you do. Here's the thing, a lot of people don't realize this. Goals are literally your stepping stones or your roadmap to where you want to go. They help you on the journey to success. Whatever say for example, you want to travel the world. I'll use that as an example. Then you've got to be able to walk away from your business. You've got to have enough money to do that. So those are two of your goals, maybe, is to have an automated business, to have it on enough residual income that will afford me to travel the world. Guess what? You've just set 2 goals that will help you achieve your dreams. And that is incredible, because you start realizing, okay, to get there, this is what I need to do. And they will influence everything you do. And what I mean by this, every decision you make should be guided by your goals. If a decision doesn't get you closer to a goal or help you achieve something that needs to be done to get closer to a goal, then it's probably a bad decision. You see, we all suffer from information overload, or what I call the magpie syndrome. If you get a ton of emails every day selling you the latest, greatest, shiny object thing that's going to help you become a millionaire in 2 minutes, guess what? Unsubscribe. If you're not getting value, and if the stuff that you're getting is not helping you closer to your goals, you need to get rid of that distraction, because it's not going to help you, and all it will do is slow you down from success. So there's a couple of exercises I want you to do. This is really, and we'll get to that in a few moments. But one of them is I want you to do is go to your inbox, go to your email once this video is done, and literally unsubscribe from every list where you are not getting something beneficial. Of course, everyone except mine, of course, but I'm not saying that to be selfish, because I want to make sure you get updates about this training and everything else. But you get the idea. If it's not helping you move forward, if it's just another sales thing and another sales thing, and it's not giving you any value or any insight that's going to help you move closer to your success, get rid of it. Now, the other thing you need to do is surround yourself with success. And you're doing that right now, because you're in the inner circle. You're part of the Kickstart program, which is the free level. And as you move forward, when you start on the accelerator path, which is our next level program, you will then get access to a full community of success seekers. People just like yourself, high achievers at many different levels. Some will be much further ahead than you, some will be behind you. Here's the cool thing, that community is helping you succeed. So you'll be able to participate in that community, surround yourself with success, and it really does help. When you surround yourself with successful people, it is like a magnet. It's like a car magnet on a crane. That is someone else at your success level, and it pulls you up to their level and way beyond. I mean, right now, I associate myself with multimillionaires and billionaires, and that has helped me accelerate so much in what I do that I am now pulled up to that level by my associations, by the knowledge, by the mindset. And here's the thing, when you start surrounding yourself with mindsets like that, it literally influences you. It actually helps you reprogram, because we're social creatures. And this is called social programming. And what happens is if you put someone who has no knowledge and no experience in a room full of entrepreneurs, just by the conversations they have, by the discussions and insights they gain, they will start thinking like an entrepreneur. And then if they go back to their old environment, they will suddenly realize, well, this, I'm looking at it differently now. And it's incredible. Social programming is incredible. So surrounding yourself with successful people, people who've already been through all the problems you have, really helps. So join communities and participate. I mean, you can actually join right now if you want to upgrade your account. You can join our accelerator program and surround yourself, access our forums, our discussion groups in different areas, and move forward. That's absolutely one thing you can do. And be a student of success traits. Now, this is one thing I make a habit, is I study people who are successful and what they did, how they did it, where their mindset was, and that really helps. And these associations, like I say, help elevate you upwards and you develop an opportunity sixth sense. What I mean by that is as you develop these skills further and further, you start seeing opportunities for success everywhere, or opportunities for taking your business in a new direction, or a new addition, or a new, just even a minor tweak that can have a massive influence on your business. You literally develop almost like a spidey sense, if you want to use pop culture references, or a sixth sense for these things. And it's incredible because you start seeing opportunities way before everyone else. And that gives you an edge that you would not believe. And the really cool thing is people are more than happy. You'll find this with all entrepreneurs. People freely talk about their business, how they succeed and what they do, because they love to share. They're not miserly. They're not Ebenezer Scrooge here. They love to share how they did what they did, so they can help others, because that is honestly one of the biggest mindsets, because they know other people struggle and they love to talk about what they do differently than everyone else. So you can learn from that. So engage in these conversations, engage people, talk to them saying, well, how did you do that, if you don't mind me asking? And they'll be happy to share that information with you in most cases. So we're pretty much reaching the end of this module, and we've covered a lot of ground, probably a lot more than actually I planned to do, but that's great. That's what this is all about. And I hope you've learned a lot from this module to get started. And we've covered a lot, so I don't want to overwhelm you. That's why we do one module every week. So we've got some action steps to get started. Basically, we're going to start the process of evolving and reprogramming your mind. So the first thing I want you to do is develop your goals and write them down. And think about where you want to be in 5 years and get pictures. Go actually visualize it, flesh out that world, and then find pictures online. Print them out, put them on a corkboard, and then get those 10 goals, or maybe 20, or maybe 30. Maybe you've got a really big list. Write them down, print them out, and put them right in the middle of your pictures. So put your 10 goals, your 20 goals right in the middle of your corkboard, put it above your monitor, and then surround that with the things that you're aiming for. Maybe your beautiful house, maybe you're traveling the world, maybe you want a Bugatti Veyron in your front yard, and that's it, whatever your goals actually are. Think about them, plot them out, print them out, and put them right above your monitor, because that will literally guide you. And that is the biggest thing you can do to give yourself an edge right now. I also want you to join a community of successful people. Now, right now you're on the developer program. If you're already a member of the accelerator program or the elite program and you're watching this, great, you've already achieved this step. Go participate in our communities here, and you will get so much from that. Our community is one of the best communities and one of the best helpful communities, and that is why we put this together. If you're just starting out and you are a Kickstart member, I do encourage you to upgrade your account. It only costs $1. You can try it for 2 weeks. We wanted to make sure that this was comfortable for you. We wanted to make sure you had access to everything you need. So I want to give you a trial for that. So you can click on upgrade, which you'll see in the top menu, and you can upgrade your account for $1. Try it for 2 weeks. You also get access to me live, which is very cool, with the Ask Sean sessions. We do that every week, and literally I'll go over a strategy or an area of online business, and then I open it up to live questions and answers. So if you have a question, no problem. You can come on live, and ask me, and I'll be happy to speak with you right there. So that's one way you can join a community of successful people. You can also participate and develop those relationships. I do encourage you to do that, because you will start seeing, okay, if you've got your goals mapped out, you know where you want to go, and you will start seeing people who may be already on that path, who are slightly further ahead, that can give you advice, give you tips, give you insights. That's great, because when you start identifying your goals and everything else, you start seeing the opportunities to move towards them. They become a filter of sorts. So do participate and develop those relationships and friendships. And again, picture your success for 30 minutes every day. If you've only got 10 minutes, fine. If you've got 15 minutes in 2 blocks through the day, perfect. Just put yourself in that mindset every day. And even if you have to write it on the bottom of your list of goals, just write on that. Picture your success every day and start working forwards with that, because I tell you right now, that is one of the most invigorating and inspiring exercises you can do, because it will help you catapult forward. Now, in the next module, which we're going to do very soon, we'll show you how to find your perfect market, and we'll help you identify exactly who your perfect customer is. Now, this is a very important skill, especially as we're creating a foundation for online success. So we're moving forward now into the business creation area of this course, and we will show you how to develop a full market profile. We will show you how to uncover your competitors' weaknesses and develop a powerful keyword list for targeting, because we're going to do some very, very powerful stuff. And we are going to show you how you can instantly stamp your authority on your market. So that's coming up in the next module in just a few days, and you will be able to get started with that. But again, go apply those action steps that we talked about. I want you to start taking real action. This is what this course is all about. This is the catapult course. This is going to get you moving forward where you've never moved before. Now, you may have had other training, other programs, other things that give you pie in the sky, instant promises of millions of dollars by pressing a button. Real life doesn't work like that. So what I'm doing is giving you a real foundation to build a real future and a real business. So it's very important you apply each of the action steps in each of these modules. So go ahead and do that. And if you want to upgrade, like I say, go do that. That will help you a lot. It'll give you access to a lot more information, a lot more stuff, a lot more resources, maybe even some of the resources you need to achieve some of these action steps, depending on what obviously your goals are and stuff like that. But I would love to see you in the accelerator program, and for $1, that's less than the price of a candy bar, you'll be able to get started with that, join that community, and literally catapult yourself forward. So I do encourage you to do that, and go take those action steps. Go write those goals down. Really determine, as soon as you're done with this, where you want to be, and do that exercise right now while it's fresh in your mind. Because one thing, and this is one thing, very important thing that I see a lot of people do, that's a huge mistake. They will watch this module, and then they'll walk away from it and say, you know, that was a really good idea. And then they walk away from it and never did it. So do it right now. Start thinking, sit back in your chair, think about, well, where do I want to be? Grab a pen and paper if you don't have one already. You should have, naughty if you didn't, but grab a piece of paper and start writing these things down. Think, well, you know, I would really love to be in that house with my own office, leather chair, computer, big, couple, maybe 3 monitors on my desk. I've got a bookshelf in the corner with all these different great books. I've got a beautiful backyard, a very well kept garden. Kids are happy, they're at school right now, or one's at university. I'm not worrying about the payments for it. Again, give it that kind of detail, and that really does help a lot. So do that right now, and then I will see you in the next module of the Kickstart program. Take care.